hanging out in downtown Portland, and I was at Twilight Cafe. No, I mean obviously, and then went to this place called the Loyal Legion, and dude, their bratwursts. Oh my fucking god, fire, dude, just fire. Their bratwursts were amazing. It reminded me of this German food cart that used to be on 10th and Alder in downtown Portland called Alton Gods, and it reminded me of those bratwursts. Oh, it was so delicious. It was like the feast I needed tonight. A New Year's brat, some booze, and some powwow punk and shit like that. It was fun. Especially with the punk.
Sounds good.
I got my friends to get hooked up on 1876, the Indian powwow punk band and shit. And they were sold immediately. And I knew it because I seen them live already. So I was like, I just already knew that they were going to like them. So as soon as they showed up, when they started their set, because I showed up at the bar before they did, and they showed up probably like maybe 5 or 10 minutes after I did. And yeah, pretty much both of them are like, dude, this band is awesome. I need to check them out more. I'm just like, yes, got some more. Going to Dallas, hella dreading traffic. I wouldn't worry about the traffic. I'd worry about the roads being shitty. Not like structurally and integrity wise, but by the fact they're everywhere. So enjoy that. There's going to be roads upon roads, roads on top of roads, roads within a road that are on roads within roads. You're going to, like, there's going to be a lot of roads and inroads and out roads and side roads and all that shit. Can't be worse than Louisiana. It is. I've been for Texas. I was there in Dallas recently. I was there less than a week ago. I was in Dallas less than a week ago. You think my memory is, like, that unfaded? Like, come on, bro.
Dallas sucks.
Even my dad could attest to it.
I've been there, sit there, and there's...
Dude, the infrastructure in Texas, especially around Dallas, sucks ass.
Out of Dallas.
Dude, the infrastructure, the roads, and all that stuff in and around Dallas suck ass. I mean, Texas, the roads suck ass in general, but around Dallas, in that area specifically, oh my god, it is immense ass. It is like all the ass, and not even in a good way. It's shitty, rank, diuretical ass. That ain't good ass. You don't want that ass.
Endless traffic.
That's not really the issue, because the reason why is because they have so many fucking roads that go to, like, goddamn pretty much, like, their own specific destinations, that, like, if you want to go to a certain road or a certain location, you just take one of the 8 kajillion roads that are pretty much right next to each other. It's like, they could condense all these roads, and granted, there will probably be more traffic, but it would be a lot more streamlined and a lot more clean and more space. Like, it's like, it's just crowded with roads, and like, it's existential nightmare fuel. Like, I legit get, like, more anxiety being there than here. Like, I prefer the streamlined, like, shit around here where it's more pedestrian friendly, because, like, I feel like I have spots where I can go. You know, in Texas, like, you either got a car or you're fucked. Like, it's like, you got one or the other. Either get fucked or get a vehicle. Take your pick. Up here, you got options. I could take a bike, I could walk, I could take a car, do shit like that. Depends on my mood, you know? But out in Texas, now you're just fucked. You're fucked.
And going to either...
Sidewalks are not a thing.
A little bit of the bus line.
And the thing is, Billings actually could be a legit, really poppin' spot if it had more pedestrian-friendly areas, including public transit, like buses. If it didn't have just a bus and had, like, a few different routes, and at least, like, maybe some little bit more pedestrian-friendly infrastructure there. Which, I guess last time I was there, they've kind of, did that a little bit. Like, there's, like, some roundabouts and stuff like that, and I kind of remember, them kind of getting a little better about stuff like that, but, when it comes to just, like, public transit and stuff like that, they need to do that, like, because, honestly, it's a cool little city, but it needs all the other shit to, like, really help maximize the potential of commerce, because like a lot of people that, you know, might want to have, you know, some drinks at the bar at downtown Billings, who live in the suburbs like half a mile or a mile give or take out, you know, from downtown, they ain't gonna be driving home because they're gonna be too fucking drunk. So it's like having, you know, some sort of a public transit system, you know, when it comes to things like that, you know, improves commerce, especially when it comes to various random scenarios like that. And I know you know, like, when it comes to drunk motherfuckers in Billings, because, I mean, you're born and raised there, and you were, like, I know. So.
The roads there suck. There's like full of potholes, but at least there's no traffic.
Probably because they don't want to have their cars fucked up by the potholes.
Probably because no one lives there.
That too. Both.
Yeah. Dang. Freaking Carol called just before midnight and just like, oh, hell no. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not going to go pick her up at midnight on New Year's.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, if I'm going to take a guess, she probably just wanted to say Happy New Year's or something if it was just before midnight.
And I gave her a ride to get her car started earlier.
Is her car still having issues?
Her car's...
Always had issues. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. I don't start on that.
What car she gets has issues.
Okay, I don't need to hear it. It's like, I mean, I regret asking.
I have issues with her car having issues because I always have to go there and try to get them started.
What did I start? Oh God.
I'm just like, oh, I'm not answering this. Hell no.
Oh boy. Dude, the crime.
Just before New Year's, I don't want to be on the road.
Due to crime stats, I don't plan on leaving the hotel until it's time to move on.
No, fuck that.
Ain't getting shanked in Dallas. Dude, Dallas, like, I've been in Dallas before, bro. Like, it isn't any better or worse than any other major city. It really isn't. Like, every major city, whether it's Dallas, Portland, Seattle, fucking New York, wherever the fuck, they all got their inner city problems. Dallas ain't no exception. You're gonna be fine. Okay? Like, I think you're gonna be okay. So, I wouldn't worry about it. Besides, like, you're only gonna be there for one night anyway. My buddy's traveling through the south to go to New Mexico, to where he's finally gonna move. He's cutting for Dallas right now, tomorrow.
Dallas.
Yep. Funny enough, I was just there not too long ago, and my buddy from formerly from Alabama now, is passing through there. A week after I was there. Honestly, if your trip was aligned to where you were in Dallas when I was in Dallas, I would have tried to hit up my folks to be like, hey, let's like have a little meetup or something. But, you know, obviously that didn't happen. But, you know, hey, we'll have our moment. We'll have our time. That'll happen. But anyway, Venoms, how was your New Year's, by the way? You know, it's like, I'm assuming, you know, obviously, you know, hanging out at the hotel and shit, but I'm assuming you had to at least had a little something going on. At least a little something, a little something to celebrate with, right? You slept. You slept. Well, alright, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna dog on that, you know, because, like, that's very memorable. It's understandable, honestly.
Would have been asleep on New Year's, except for Carol called, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not picking up the phone, and just I woke up.
I was
just before
I was fucking slam dancing and shit.
Go off and light off a couple of bottle rockets, not bottle rockets, but
those little Roman candles. I saw a few. I saw those out there. But yeah, like, yeah, I was like slam dance. Well, at least at midnight, the band took a quick little moment, you know, in between their set, you know, for everyone to kind of have their little Happy New Year moment. And straight up, like, like I became a little mini celeb at the fucking bar because, like, I was known as the DRI guy because I had my DRI shirt, and I was like the one going hard when it came to like slam dancing and moshing, along with a couple other people and shit. To the point where, like, the bands were like, yo, it's like, this motherfucker right here, this DRI shirt guy right here, it's fucking going hard. I love his energy right here. It's just like, I got called out a couple times for it, and I'm just like, yeah. I became the DRI guy at the Twilight Cafe tonight. I'm now known forever as that. at that bar. The DRI guy. Here's a 20, and I said I'd go get some whiskey and pass out. Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. A thrash punk band. A punky thrash band a little bit. I could play one of their songs really quick. I feel like you might have heard at least one of their songs before. Here, I'll play one of their famous ones that are pretty well known. As soon as YouTube wants to... There we go. Here we go. Yeah. I'm sure you have to at least hear this. You have to know. I told you so. What was that? A little bit. I mean, they're kind of like that, you know, thrashy punk, because they definitely are punk, but they kind of incorporate a little bit of like kind of thrash to it. They're a very like thrashy punk band. And I've seen them live too. I mean, DR is hella fucking worth checking out. Fucking awesome live. On a Saturday. It's been too long. I haven't been to one of your streams since last year. I know, dude. It's been last year since we've all been here, dude. Oh, here. Let me show off the shirt from the little festival / like little show that I went to. Look at this. Oh, got the bands down here, the lovely bands. And what I like about this shirt, for some reason, it has like it has the price of like everything going on right here. Like when it comes to the like, you know, the purchasing of the tickets and all that other stuff. Why they do, I don't know, but I like it. I honestly kind of dig that, like, the shirt in itself is like weirdly an advertisement. At the same time, it's pretty cool. This year's election year is going to be a shit show. I mean, it is, but you know, I'm gonna like try to make it, you know, something to where we try to coalesce this shit show into something positive. Because, I did email Vosh the other day about potentially hitting him up. And it's not set in stone, but if it is, I really hope that, you know, having a talk with him will end up being, you know, something that's really cool and productive. And, you know, kind of, you know, pushes what I'm, you know, wanting to do. On top of maybe, you know, like hitting up, you know, some others like Dean Mama and a couple other people too as well to kind of push this message as well. At least when it comes to like just getting, you know, I think a lot of, you know, just leftists into organizing more into something that genuinely is productive. Like, because there's a lot of bullshit when it comes to electoralism, voting, this primary, when it comes to Biden, all this shit. And frankly, us as progressives / lefties, you know, yelling at each other or getting mad at each other, infighting over this bullshit is just fundamentally unproductive. Especially considering that there are so many different things that we all pretty much unanimously agree on and are lockstep with. And just refuse to, you know, harness that, basically, right? Especially when it comes to things like labor. And labor and unions right now, I think, is the big fucking thing right now that leftists could really amplify and really push at this point. And I think it would be a bigger benefit if some of these, you know, content creators, I mean, just broadly, I mean, this isn't even like a critique to Vosh specifically, just broadly would advocate this on a more, like on more of their general like content, so to speak, right? And on top of that, but also make it a little bit more of an emphasis. Like, I mean, because this terminal online electoralist back and forth bullshit, it's not productive. It doesn't do anything besides just make us pissed off, right? I've gone for my fucking rants, especially pretty recently, about this shit. And honestly, at the end of the day, what the fuck type of, like, productive shit does that really do? Besides just, like, add more animosity to other lefties that, at the end of the day, we all kind of have an agreement on when it comes to a lot of shit. So it's like, I mean, there needs to be a stronger correlation around, like, these ideas that we all just generally agree with. And are obviously something that can even be a bigger bridge for other people when it comes to being, whether they're centrist, apolitical, or even conservative leaning. It's like, we can reach out to these type of fucking people, not like the hardcore fucking like far-right fasci fucks. I mean, you know, like, I ain't trying to say that, but there are definitely plenty of people that are just ignorant, don't know better, that are kind of maybe within that little sphere that can easily be tapped into. And this bullshit that we're doing ain't helping. And it's sure as shit, especially from the outside perspective, when people look in, as non-lefties, so to speak, and they're going to look at this being like, oh, well, they are gatekeeping even each other, so what the fuck's the point of trying to even, like, talk with them if they're, yelling at each other? It's like, it's just one of those things where it's not productive. It just really isn't. I mean, especially when there's plenty of issues that can easily be agreed on and fought and advocated for, especially as leftists. It's just, it really just kind of gets my grow a little bit on that. So I don't know. At least want to, it's not set in stone, but if I do be able to have, am able to have a conversation with Vosh, then, that's what I want to try to push. I mean, not, to grill him specifically, but just to really maybe hopefully, tap into at least some motherfuckers in this audience a little bit. At least some of them. Because, I mean, I don't really think, like, Vosh would disagree, and I don't even really think he would be, like, against it and stuff like that. I just think that, I just think he puts his focus too much on things like electoralism instead of, like, these issues that I think, would be more beneficial to, put on the forefront. So, I mean, maybe he'll agree, maybe he'll disagree, I don't know, but, I mean, I think, at least when it comes to a perspective of a anti-electoralist style leftist like me, and considering my background, I think it would at least be a breath of fresh air, hopefully, I think, for him, in comparison to your terminal online dumb fuck lefty idiot that, basically, just spends most of their time online. I mean, hopefully, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Because I got the fucking, background. It's like I've walked the walk, as much as talked it. I've been on strike lines before. I mean, I'm a fucking union worker as it stands now. I've been so for 8 years. Like, I mean, I got 8 years of experience here. I mean, especially within the last, like, 3 to 4 years, I mean, I got the fucking experience. I got the background. So it's like, yeah, I mean, especially when it comes to the general left online, so to speak, I mean, I don't really hear those voices. It's not like they don't exist, because they certainly are there, but, I mean, they're just not at the forefront at all, and they need to be. But the only people who are kind of close to that are people like Sean Fain, who've kind of always been there in the first place. And the only reason why they are kind of on the national level is because of what they've been pushing when it comes to these labor strikes and things like that. And they can't be the only ones. There needs to be other people that fucking boost that message. And it can't just be simply saying like, oh, hey, this person, exists and they're really cool, based, they're awesome. It's like, cool, but there needs to be more than that. Like, do a fundraiser stream for the UAW or something, or, just random tiny little things like that. I mean, it's just those little things. I mean, those small little things can go a long fucking way. And I know Vosh is certainly aware of that, because I've seen him do live streams doing full-on fundraisers for, like, Palestine and, for shit like that. Like, and so he's, it's not like he's incapable of doing so. He certainly is. And, if anything, I know Vosh is certainly capable of that. That's why, honestly, I feel like I just think he puts his focus in the wrong things concurrently. I don't inherently blame him, but I mean, honestly, I think what really gets my grill about it is the major, like, smug, holier-than-thou mentality he has with it. But, I mean, I'm willing to at least spot my tongue on that, when it at least comes to talk with him. Because I want to at least, have a genuine back and forth with him. And if anything, have a little fun, I'm just like, it doesn't have to be totally serious. In fact, I honestly want it, like I said, if it does genuinely happen, I want, like, some of that conversation just be kind of lighthearted and a little silly, at least for a little bit. Being like, oh, hey, it's like, I think your music takes are a little, controversial, bro. Being a musician myself, man, I don't know. I think your takes are ridiculous, and, I mean, it's I wouldn't mind having a, back and forth with him on something like that. Just something just a little soft and silly, nothing even really genuinely, like, hardcore, in any metric. So, like, I'm willing to have fun with it. It's like, so, I'm not, I definitely, because I know it's a little bit of a meme. I've used him as, like, a punching bag, so to speak, in the past when it comes to my gripes with certain arguments like electoralism and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I generally don't really have any animosity to the guy. I just think, he's, a little misguided on certain things, and also I think his status as being a more wealthier person tends to kind of, blind him to certain things. I mean, but that's not really, like, a personal inherent gripe. That's just more about, like, his general worldview. But despite that, I mean, he's still, like, 90% in agreement with me. Talk of 2024, this year that Elon Musk can start identifying as black and start referring to everyone as my neighbor MC. What? Damn, Rip. Dude, how do you know that Elon Musk hasn't already secretly done that? He's just waiting to just unleash it to us all. Oh, by the way, how'd you think of 1876? Because, I mean, considering that I saw you bopping that shit, I told you I could vouch for them sons of bitches. I honestly thought Darkham was going to be the last band tonight, but, I guess it wasn't. It was, what were they called again? The Monte Vega and the shitting Shivas, I think. I have to read it upside down. It's kind of difficult. Because I thought that they were going to be, like, in the middle of the S set. I didn't think they were going to be the last band for tonight, but you know what? I think it don't matter to me. They fucking rocked it out. If Ignore likes them, I reflectively disliked them. That is just sad. Don't be like that. There were 2 fucking close convenience stores. We had to go to a third one. Really? Damn, dude. Yeah, dude, when I went to the Tweaker 7-Eleven, their system was down, so they had their shit locked up while the guy was stocking stuff in there. I saw him, like, stocking some shit. I just kind of went, no. And I just had to immediately fucking, just go to the fucking Max. Miss a beer as a result. Well, I had a lucky silver lining. The 7-Eleven at my house, the guy literally did not give a fuck, dude. I was kind of like, browsing for some snacks, but then some lady came in and grabbed like a seltzer and immediately checked out, and he just checked her out, and she just left. And this is like a 3, at this point. It was like either just before 3 or like 3 a.m. And when I saw that, I'm like, I'm just gonna grab this. Fuck that. So I did. He checked it out, didn't give a fuck, and yeah, so now I have this. Even though I'm pretty sure he shouldn't have done that whatsoever, because I'm pretty sure that's not exactly what the law says, but I'm not complaining. That ain't on me. that ain't on my ass. I'm the bastard, fucking egging him on, and if he decides to do it, then that's on him. As soon as Elon just re-identifies as black and I'm high as fuck, ain't no one checking IDs at this hour. Dude, the guy never checks ID. I mean, yeah, like, dude, honestly, the guy at my 7-Eleven is a goddamn G, dude. He's a fucking G. Like, he comes in at a clutch sometimes when it comes to, like, some when it comes to food and stuff like that. Like, he's actually pretty cool. Doesn't talk too much. You know, doesn't really, you know, say a lot. He usually is, like, on his phone talking with one of his buddies or some shit. Like, you know, or whatever the fuck. Usually he's just doing his own thing, but, I mean, you know, he will hook your ass up, dude. And he's pretty chill. He chill like that. Ignores music, takes a cringe. Phantom, shut the fuck up. Just being bish. Yeah, well, I'm being bish too, so how about that? What if 7-Eleven were to set their clock an hour behind and kept selling beer? Cops won't be able to do shit. Possibly. I mean, yeah, there is. I mean, we are a state that does have, like, the, you know, daylight savings and shit like that. I guess we could sneak around that. That's what I'm gonna assume. There's a little loop around. There's a loophole. He didn't think it was, you know, 2:30 yet. He thought it was like, you know, 1:30. 7-Eleven Chad just points out the fake clock. Sir, it's only 2 a.m. Just start gaslighting the cops. Dude, hell yeah, man. I call on Sunday. Going forward, New Mexico sells on Sunday. The fact that you did not live in a state that sells... Dude, the fact that anywhere prohibits selling alcohol on Sundays is a human rights violation. That is a goddamn human rights violation, sir. Especially when, like, you know, the fucking, like, I mean, when the New Year's on, you know, Sunday through Monday. It's like, come on. Not a drop. That's a war crime. On God's Day. Despite the fact that, like, Jesus, like, in his blood is wine. You could drink wine for, like, you know, religious purposes, but no other alcohol. Boo. Boo. Wine sales are also illegal on Sundays. It shouldn't. I mean, it really shouldn't at all. I mean, there shouldn't be any, like, oh my god. Dude, dry counties, prohibition, and any of this shit is just bullshit. Like, that is bullshit. And I guarantee you, these churches have exceptions. They are exempt from this shit because on church services, I guarantee you they do the wine and cracker goddamn bullshit. And because of that, like, you know, they could get all nice and drunk and tipsy off of fucking wine. I guess, you know, having a little sip of wine ain't really gonna do that to you. But, I mean, they still do that. Tyler finally tossed me a lime. I brought a lime to the bar. What, one of those, like, scooters? A bike? Wait. One of those, like, little rent-a scooters? You can drink on Sunday, but you gotta buy it sometime before across state lines for it. No, like the fruit? Wait, you just bought... Like, you just bought a lime, like a literal lime. You just bought a literal lime. The meme quick. Toss me a lime. Dude, Alabama doesn't even have lotto tickets? Dude. Not Powerball. I know that's a scam. I mean, I don't care. Like, what the... Like, what? Dude, just be glad you're not in that fucking shithole anymore. You're in a state that actually is kind of cool. And not shitty. Because at least New Mexico's got some cool stuff. Like, I mean, there's actually, you know, like, I've actually heard some pretty cool things about New Mexico. Because honestly, like, the Southwest is actually kind of cool. I mean, you know, there's definitely some, you know, there's some shitty things about it, you know, for sure. But, I mean, you know, it's like, I mean, like, there's definitely some cool shit about the Southwest, though. Really turned off of lottery after a boomer dude at my work. He just blows all his money at the casino, doesn't have shit for retirement despite being in bad health. Well, yeah, because he's a boomer. I mean, having, like, you know, a little fun here and there, that, you know, at the casino, or, you know, playing with a lotto ticket here and there and shit. I mean, that ain't, like, you know, a big deal, but when it comes to, like, being, like, your boomer coworker guy, that's a problem. That right there is just a straight legit problem. Good for little doggo. Giving land as a whole is illegal in Alabama. Cringe and gay. Gay and cringe. That is just... Like, I mean, it's like, what type of fascist backwater shithole is it, man? Like, goddamn. I mean, what the fuck? I love how, like, the, you know, airports in Vegas and Reno are pretty much, like, the only places where there are casinos in the airport, and honestly, that should be everywhere. You know, I want it goddamn everywhere, motherfucker. Like, I mean, if you don't want it, you don't gotta, you know, fucking play it. You don't gotta participate in that shit. But if someone wants to have a little fun and, you know, partake in it, you know, and shit like that, then let them. You can't, you know, don't stop me. Don't stop me for wanting to play, you know, some slots or some roulette or whatever the fuck. I mean, don't be like that. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but if I want to, then don't stop me, you son of a bitch. It's my fucking freedom. Thought this is America. Those are conservative boomers who love gambling simultaneously like authoritarian states that outlaw gambling. Well, the irony is that, you know, a lot of these boomers slash conservative, you know, type of people, like, they would actually, you know, vote in favor of gambling, you know, and shit like that, you know, if it was put on the ballot. But if the state already has it on the books, then they basically aren't going to do anything about it. They literally would just go out of state or go to, like, you know, their little vacation spots out of state and just go there instead. You know, and so it's just a hypocrisy of it all. I mean, conservatives are known for their hypocrisy, and this is just one aspect of it where there's no exception. You know, it's certainly no exception. So, I mean, they're just hypocritical fucks. Like, I mean, they will be like, oh, well, I, you know, think gambling's all right, and your God-given right, and blah, blah, blah. But then they'll live in a state and overtly, like, advocate and, you know, vote for politicians who are okay with it being fucking outlawed in their goddamn state. An Arby's in a casino in a gas station, guys. What? Traveling through Mississippi, I saw something that made me laugh. A combination. Arby's, casino, gas station. At least Mississippi is... Well, that sounds fucking beautiful. That sounds like America right there, baby. That's the America I want. Like, you know, hey, you're a little hungry after gambling a little bit at the casino, go to a fucking Arby's, you know, while you're refilling your gas, you know, between your fucking trip, dude. That's America right there. That's the America I want. That's what I fucking want right there. Mississippi knows what's up. How in the fuck is Mississippi better than Alabama on this? What the fuck? Am I honestly defending Mississippi right now? You know what? The fact that I'm defending them, you know, against Alabama... You know what, okay, yeah. You know what, actually, that makes sense. If I was trying to, like, you know, flex Mississippi with any other state, like, they would be defeated and slam dunked like the bitch that they are because they're backwater. But if we're comparing Mississippi to Alabama, then Mississippi's way better, apparently. I mean, they let you gamble, and they got a goddamn Arby's in a casino and a gas station. I mean, you Mississippi got that. Alabama don't even let you gamble. They don't let you buy alcohol on fucking Sunday because they're a backwater shithole. Ugh. Make them a territory. Federalize their ass. Fuck that shithole. Boo.
They're both pretty much the same.
Well, I literally named some differences.
A line on the map that says it's just Mississippi.
Well, yeah, there's the arbitrary line in the dirt, you know, that says that they're this and that, but there are little differences in their laws and shit. That's why I'm kind of going off about it. Like, Mississippi's somehow better about, like, gambling laws and alcohol laws and stuff like that versus fucking Alabama. So somehow they're, not by much, but a little better than Alabama. Because Alabama is just, like, basically a goddamn fucking third world fucking country for a state. Like, oh my god.
I've never been to either of them.
Well, my friend, my friend has lived in Alabama for quite a while, and the things he's told me.
I drove through there on the way to Key West.
Yeah, well, my friend, my friend who's lived in Alabama for a long time, I trust his word when it comes to a lot of the things about Alabama, and yeah, it's a goddamn shithole. Like, it is a backwater. Like, I mean, it's honestly kind of embarrassing that we call it a state. Like, frankly, I mean, it's like, holy shit. I mean, it makes me, you know, like, consider the idea of, like, should we just start refederalizing certain states? Like, let Guam, let Puerto Rico be states, and then, you know, we just trade off other states instead. Like, we'll give Puerto Rico statehood, but we'll take Alabama's statehood away. So we don't have to change the flag at all.
Yeah, a lot of part of the Confederate states are just like, okay.
No, okay, no, we're not, no, that ain't happening. We're not letting that shit happen. No, we ain't making that mistake again. No, we're gonna make them a fucking federal territory. They are not having that shit happen again. No, we're not. I ain't playing with that. Nope, we're not gonna let that. We ain't playing those dice. They're gonna be a territory within the United States, but they're not gonna be a state no more. We'll let Puerto Rico have statehood and then take Alabama's state away. They'll just be, you know, the District of Alabama. There you go. It'll be the DA. See, that rolls too. That kind of rolls a little bit. The District of Alabama, the DA, dude. The DA. You know, you got DC, District of Columbia, and then you got the DA, District of Alabama. See? Kind of flows a little bit.
Yeah, and they keep trying to make Puerto Rico a state, but the people in Puerto Rico are just like, no, screw this.
Well, actually, it's a little complicated. Like,
you get all the benefits and none of the hassles.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, it's a little complicated. Like, from what I've understand, like, there's a decent chunk of the population that, you know, advocates for independence, like, as their own country, and there's a lot of people that advocate for statehood, and there are all people that advocate for just kind of keeping it how it is a little bit. It's a little complicated over there, but from what I understand, like, I think there's a little bit more of a advocacy of making them a state in comparison to the other ideas, but I mean, that's just from what I understand. Yeah, but it's still very complicated.
Stay the way we are.
Well, I mean, it's still, like I said, it's still very complicated.
None of the hassles.
I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I don't see, like, I think they would actually have more benefits being a state because then they can actually, get, more of a federal budget and also have more of a genuine direct representation when it comes to government. Like, so they can have representatives and senators.
Representation.
Well, not in the same way as a state, because states, they have representatives in the Senate, where a territory don't have that, and also the citizens can't, even though they're American citizens, they can't exactly vote in the same process as we do. So it's like, they're kind of in a lot of ways left out and forgotten about. I mean, so that's kind of the reason why it's kind of complicated, and there's a reason why some of these areas that are still American territories, not states, kind of have this back and forth about it. Like when it comes to some people advocating for statehood and independence or, stuff like that. And honestly, like I said, I think honestly statehood is probably the best outcome.
There you go. Yeah, finally get that dog out.
You see old boat wrecks in exposed areas. Well, in the Oregon coast, there's a few of them.
Took off and set him outside and closed the door so he can be out.
He's weird about it.
And just, I brought Curly in the bedroom so he could use the litter box. I figured, oh, he's been out here all day. You have to use the litter box. And, oh, damn, he did.
Oh.
That's why I'm coming out here to get a breath of fresh air.
Okay, yeah, oof.
Stinky pussy.
Oof. Definitely way worse than dogs. That's for sure.
It's going to go in and go back to sleep, but I'm just like, oh, jeez. This room's a toxic smell zone right now.
I'll use the litter box. Venom, shut the fuck up. No, don't. Damn Venom equal furry confirmed. I mean, it's weird. He's more of a furry than I am. At least on that front. How do you think I feel about traveling with two cats? Well, the fact that you told me that they decided to leave some presents in that in their kennel. Yeah, I feel you. But that's why you stop at rest stops often and have like a cat harness or something, so you can have your cat on a harness and let them walk around a little bit, because eventually they're gonna take a shit. I mean, it's like, it's just like, if you have pets, I mean, that's one of the things you have to consider and realize that, like, hey, like, they're gonna want to, nature's gonna call for them, and you want to, at whenever opportunity, go to a rest stop and let them out and see if they just do that. These cats can't be trusted. That's why you get a cat harness and a leash. If you have a leash and a cat harness, that's tight enough to where they can't get out of, then they're gonna be by your side as long as you don't let go of the harness or whatever the fuck. Like, oh my god. Like, why do you think I'm mentioning that?
Bandit was right there next to me.
Well, he was a very smart, he was a goddamn alien for intelligence of a cat, dude. Like, I swear, like, he was a part...
incredibly smart. And I'd walk down to the end of the block, and he'd just be right next to me until I got to the end of the block. Then he'd like run off and disappear for like half an hour or so. Then he'd come back, and it's like, okay. Or if I'd leave, he'd call his name, and eventually he'd like come right up next to me again. I miss that cat. That was
I know.
The best kitty ever.
Dude, Bandit would just, like, every now and then just literally come out of nowhere and just, like, plop on my lap just for the fuck of it. Like, he would just be like, alright, I demand attention. I will be on your lap and demand nothing but love. And just go nuts, dude. There's also, like, a little, clip that one of my, viewers actually saved on YouTube, where I had some chicken tenders in the bag over here, and he was sneaking in and and he had his whole head. It was on camera too, where he had his whole head in there. Now I was hearing something, and I was just sitting like this, listening to what I don't even remember. I was listening to something, And I turned over. I just went, hey, and I just like grabbed the bag, and his little head just went. Zoom. It was just so cute. We need another bandit.
Yeah, Bandit and Petney were.
Oh, did Venom fucking show the clip?
Just like Bandit. Looked the same, only didn't have the white paws.
Oh, this is the clip. Yeah, here's the clip. Okay, it doesn't want to full screen. God damn it, hold on.